Come on, everybody. You are on the channel for English for Biology majors, which is brought to you by Tzu Chi University's Susan Ye. We hope after you learn this class, you will think biology is fun and to read biology book is piece of cake. Let's go, yay! Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn the fourth part of lesson 16. But first, we need to review what we learned last time. For eat, we have one prefix and the three suffixes. The prefix is phago, P-H-A-G-O, and the suffix is phagia, P-H-A-G-I-A, phagy, P-H-A-G-Y, and the phage, P-H-A-G-E. The suffix phage is frequently used for an organism or a cell, and the phagy is a phenomenon, and phagia is also a phenomenon, but it's more like the abnormal one. And when we talk about constituent substance of a cell, we can use suffix plasm, P-L-A-S-M, or plasmo, P-L-A-S-M-O. For enzyme and the fermentation, we can use prefix zymo, Z-Y-M-O, and the suffix zyme, Z-Y-M-E, and also A-S-E, ACE. And remember, we talked about how to name your enzyme last time. Now let's move to the fourth part of lesson 16, which is still the frequently used prefix and the suffixes. For animal, we have one prefix, zoo, Z-O-O. Our example is zoografting. Zoografting, also called xenotransplantation. It means xenografting of tissue from a different species into a human. For example, our heart valve. In the old times, sometimes they will use porcine, which is pig. Pig's heart valve transplant into human's heart, and that is called zoografting. When we talk about primitive organized unit of living matter, we have this term, plast, P-L-A-S-T. Our example is leucoplast. What is a leucoplast? Leucoplast, as shown in this picture here, leucoplasts are a category of plastid and as such are organelles found in plant cell. They can differentiate into amyloplast, elioplast, and proteinoplast. These are all non-pigmented in contrast to other plastids such as the chromoplast and the chloroplast. Chloroplast is always green because they contain chlorophyll, and chromoplast is usually orange or red because they contain carotenoid. Leucoplasts, they are located in non-photosynthetic tissue of plant, such as root, bulbs, and seeds. They may be specialized for bulk storage of starch, lipid, or protein, and are known as amyloplast, that's for starch, and elioplast, that's for lipid, and proteinoplast, that's for protein, respectively. But in many cell types, leucoplasts often do not have a major storage function and are present to provide a wide range of essential biosynthetic functions, including the synthesis of fatty acids such as palmitic acid, many amino acids, and tetrapyrrole. Tetrapyrrole is the precursor for heme. And in general, leucoplasts are much smaller than chloroplasts. and have a variable morphology, often described as amoeboid. Although in this picture you may think leucoplast is bigger than chloroplast, but this picture is not drawn according to their actual size. When we are going to talk about a condition, we have three suffixes to use: IA, ISM, and SIS. Let's see our example. For IA, our example is dyslexia. Dyslexia, the prefix dys means bad or non-functional, cannot do it. And then the middle part, LEX, actually it comes from Greek word LEXIS, means word. And then IA is condition, so not word condition, meaning it's dyslexia is a reading disorder. The person has trouble with reading. And dyslexia is not related to problems with overall intelligence. They just have trouble reading. They often say when they look at word, it's either blurred or like this. And when they write, they usually, they have trouble to write like most of us write, like teapot. We will write like this, but they will write many different fonts, just doesn't like what we will do. That's dyslexia. And ISM, our example is alcoholism. Alcoholism, also known as alcohol use disorder, AUD, is a broad term for any drinking of alcohol that results in problems. Previously, it was divided into two types. One is alcohol abuse. The other one is alcohol dependence. And for SIS, our example is mitosis. Mitosis is a part of cell cycle in which chromosomes in a cell nucleus are separated into two identical sets of chromosomes, as shown in this picture. In general, mitosis means division of the nucleus. Is often accompanied or followed by cytokinesis, which is the division of cytoplasm organelles and the cell membrane into two new cells containing roughly equal shares of these cellular components. Together, mitosis and cytokinesis are called the mitotic phase of an animal cell cycle, which is also called M phase of the cell cycle. Let's review what we just learned. For condition, we have three suffixes to use: IA, ISM, and SIS. Next, we are going to learn to describe a process. We often add one of these two suffixes at the end of it. One is OSIS, the other one is IASIS. But these two are often used for bad situations. OSIS is a process, especially a disease or morbid process, and sometimes conveying the meanings of abnormally increase. And the suffix IASIS is a process or the condition resulting a morbid condition. So both of them actually, they don't mean a good process. Okay? Let's see the example. The first one, OSIS. Our example is lymphocytosis. Remember what we learned before? The prefix lymph, LYMPH, means anything that related to our lymph, the fluid that circulate our body, lymph. And then CYT means cell. So lymphocyte is one type of leukocyte. Remember that? And then lymphocytosis means a process which the lymphocyte is an increase in the number in the blood. As shown in this blood smear, you can see there's many lymphocytes in this person's blood smear. That means he is having a lymphocytosis. By definition, if an adult's lymphocyte count is greater than 4,000 per microliter, or for children, more than 7,000 per microliter, meaning they have lymphocytosis. Lymphocytes normally represent around 20 to 40% of circulating white blood cells, so it shouldn't be this many in our blood smear. And our example for IASIS is amoebiasis. Amoebiasis, this figure is a column biopsy from a case of amoebic dysentery. And all these blue dots are amoeba, one type of protozoa. And this condition is called amoebiasis. Amoebiasis, sometimes it also known as entamoebiasis, is an infection caused by any of the amoebas of the Entamoeba group. Symptoms may include abdominal pain, mild diarrhea, bloody diarrhea, or severe colitis with tissue death and perforation. Colitis may cause peritonitis, which is the inflammation of peritoneum. And people affected may develop anemia because they lost a lot of blood from amoebiasis. Let's review what we learned. For process, usually morbid process, we have two suffixes to use, OSIS and the IASIS. When we want to talk about things that are produced by something, we use the suffix genus, GENOUS. Let's see our example. Endogenous. Endogenous. In this picture, we show an insulin hexamer. And insulin, when it is produced or synthesized within our own pancreas, it is an endogenous hormone. But for people who suffer from type 1 diabetes, they have to buy insulin and inject it in their body. In that way, the insulin they injected in their body is exogenous. Which is the opposite of endogenous. But endogenous can also mean growing or produced by growth from deep tissue, like endogenous plant roots. And endogenous may also mean caused by factors inside the organism or system. Okay, like we can say a person is suffered from endogenous depression. When we want to talk about things that are producing something, usually the word in front is the product. We can use these 5 suffixes. Facient, F-A-C-I-E-N-T, ferrous, F-E-R-O-U-S, genic, G-E-N-I-C, and genus, G-E-N-O-U-S, and also gen, G-E-N. This suffix, G-E-N, often means a thing, a thing, a organism. It may be an organism or may not. Let's see our example. First one, facient. Our example is somnofacient. Somnofacient is things that induce sleep, or like we show in this picture, this medicine, zolpidem. It is an agent that can induce sleep. When you are suffering from insomnia, you can take zolpidem and it will help you to go to sleep. So these zolpidem are somniferous. Our next example for ferrous, F-E-R-O-U-S, is carboniferous. Carboniferous is producing or containing carbon or coal. Like this piece of coal, it contains carbon, or we can say contain coal, so it is carboniferous. And when the first letter C is capitalized, it means it is relating or being the period of Paleozoic era between the Devonian and the Permian, or the corresponding system of rocks that include coal beds, Carboniferous. Next example for GENIC, genic. Our example is mitogenic. Mitogenic meaning things that causing or inducing mitogenesis, which is the production or causation or of mitosis in or transformation of a cell. Like this compound, which is lipopolysaccharide, abbreviated as LPS, it will induce mitosis for some cells, so therefore it is mitogenic. Our next example for GENOUS is pyogenous. Pyogenous, sometimes we also use purulent, meaning things that are caused by pus. Like this eye looks yucky because it has pus. We can say the eye looks yucky because it's pyogenous. The last one, GEN, our example is pathogen. Pathogen is any disease-causing agent or microorganism, such as bacterium, fungus, protozoan, or virus. Like in this picture, these two, they are Plasmodium, they are the pathogen of malaria. Because when we are infected by Plasmodium, we will get malaria. So Plasmodium is the pathogen of malaria. Let's review what we learned. For producing, we have 5 suffixes. Facient, F-A-C-I-E-N-T, ferrous, F-E-R-O-U-S, genic, G-E-N-I-C, genus, G-E-N-O-U-S, and gen, G-E-N. The last suffix, G-E-N, is a suffix used for noun. Usually it can be an organism or may not, but it's a suffix that used for noun. Now we finished the 4th part of lesson 16. Let's review what we've learned this time. For animal, our prefix is zoo, Z-O-O. For primitive organized unit of living matter, we have 1 suffix, plast, P-L-A-S-T. For condition, usually a good condition is I-A, I-S-M, and the S-I-S. And process, we have 2 suffix, O-S-I-S and the I-A-S-I-S. These are usually the morbid process. And for describing things that are produced by something, we have genus, G-E-N-O-U-S. For producing, we have 5 suffixes, facient, F-A-C-I-E-N-T, ferrous, F-E-R-O-U-S, genic, G-E-N-I-C, genus, G-E-N-O-U-S, and the G-E-N. Now we finish the 4th part of lesson 16. Next time when we come back, we will learn the last part of lesson 16, and we will also give you quiz for lesson 16. See ya! English for Biology Major is brought to you by TCU's English for Biology Major course team. If you have any questions, don't forget to visit our FB fans page. The website is here, and you can also scan the QR code to reach to our FB fans page. This course is sponsored by Centers for Faculty Development and Instructional Resources of TCU.